Who tricked Bob into marrying Rita? Was it force, trickery, or a combination? All right. All right. So we are now reading from Cedella Marley, which is Bob Marley's mother's book, um, as it relates to her experience with what she heard about why he got married. So, some months later, wait, let me set the story up. So basically, Bob is in Jamaica. He hasn't come to Delaware yet. His mom is in Delaware, and she's telling him, anytime you're ready, son, I'll file your paperwork and you can come on over. Okay. Some months later, Nesta wrote again to say that he'd met a nice girl named Rita and that she had become pregnant for him, and that if she had his baby, he intended to marry her. I wrote him back and told him that he didn't have to marry any girl just because she had gotten pregnant for him. Whoa. That marriage was a big step to be taken cautiously and preferably only for love. Soon afterwards, Rita began writing me long, friendly letters. Hold on, remember, Sir Rita said she stepped in and started to write the letters. Remember, after the nighttime movie situation and the long walk home and love was waking? Right. So the mother is asserting that she was pregnant. Rita doesn't tell us that she was pregnant, but she does tell us that she started writing letters, right? So it says here, soon afterwards, Rita began writing me long, friendly letters, and we started a regular correspondence. I heard later that she had lost the baby. So this is a new piece of information. She, again, the mother's asserting that the reason that he felt compelled to marry her is because she was pregnant for him, which made me feel that I had given Nesta the right advice about not hastily marrying just because of some so-called pregnancy. Not the so-called pregnancy. Not the Listen, I'm gonna have to do another video because I have some information on this, why she may have made this advice to him. But that's another video. The months rolled past and I began hearing rumors about Nesta from Jamaica. One day somebody not no name, I believe it was my brother Gibson, oh, see name there, came and told me that it was all over the news in Jamaica that Nesta had gotten married. She thinks that, whoo, she thinks she just missed it. He just dodged the bullet. And because of the so-called pregnancy that she lost, according to the mother, okay? But now she hear news say, Nesta got married, okay? So she said, married? I scoffed. And me no know? Me no think so. If he get married, him no would have tell him mother. And for a while, I heard nothing from Nesta about his plans to come to America or about any marriage. And whenever I wrote and asked if he wanted to come to America, I would hear back from him that he wasn't ready yet. He never ready yet because he did a steer it up. That's why he never ready yet. But anyway, meanwhile, the times continued brutally hard in Jamaica. Nesta's music had made a name for him on the island, but somebody else was pocketing all the money while he was ending up with small chains, chump chains, chicken feed, like peanuts. Them never did that give him no money. Okay. Then one day he suddenly wrote and said he was ready to come to America and try his luck. I quickly made the arrangements and mailed him an airplane ticket. A few months later, Nesta joined me in Delaware. And we see that that is the February of what's that, 1966, according to that he goes a few days after his birthday. So that would have meant, the way she made the timeline is interesting because he would have gotten married a few days after his birthday and then left. So when she heard he got married, that was some quick news from Jamaica. That was some airmail right there. So let's go ahead and pick up where Rita left off. Your Rita now. We got married on impulse because Bob's mother had sent for him. One is saying Rita's writing the letters. The other one is saying that he's ready to come. And Rita is saying his mother was ready, mother had sent for him. Unlike a lot of girls, I hadn't been dreaming of being married at that age. It wasn't something I had in my mind. Rita's like, I could take it or leave it. It really wasn't, you know what I mean? I wasn't fiending, you know? No. She said, I never thought about my wedding day. To begin with, we didn't have anything to be married on. And in those days in Jamaica, you couldn't wake up one day and want to marry. You had to plan and you had to save money for it. The reason why she's saying this is because earlier in the book, her auntie, you know, the auntie was sitting at the gate, the auntie makes dresses for people's wedding and they bake cakes. So she would have been in and around this wedding industry, right? That her auntie is making her bread and butter from, among other things. And so she's saying, basically, based on her understanding of how wedding thing go, you not just jump up and marry. But Sadella Malcolm Marley had married Edward Booker, an American. Having gotten her own legal papers, she could now sponsor her son. So Bob had to immigrate, but he didn't. But he said he wouldn't leave unless I eventually went with him. So Bob did a try to pit on it. He was securing the goods. He was like, me now be like the man where they go England and losing woman. Me now left you to me make sure say you are mine. So everybody's giving different reasons as to why he got married. But we're gonna hear from what they said he said in a minute, right? So it says here, so Bob had to immigrate, but he said he wouldn't leave unless I eventually went with him. Though we were well in love, as everybody's saying, as according to Rita and the song them we make, we hadn't even talked about getting married until this happened. So somebody had to set the ball in motion. If your mother is calling you saying, son, come to America, and you say you're not ready yet, something had to be the impetus for you to say, you know what, I'm ready now. You have to pick sense until nonsense, but let's go. Bob thought that if we weren't married before he left, I would find another boyfriend. Rightfully so, Bob. Rightfully so, because that's how you get tired. So, okay, we're getting a little somewhere. Why? Because life is cyclical, right? And we saw that earlier in the story, the man left, went to England forcibly by his parents. Bob took his girl. Now, Bob is leaving and Bob is like, no, nobody for taking girl. But as according to many people, if he didn't love her, why secure it? I don't know. Let's continue. Anywho, she said he never want her to find another boyfriend. I don't know if that would have happened. Maybe. But he wouldn't allow it to happen. And by then, he was my straight boyfriend, as we say in Jamaica. I was neither seeing nor thinking about another man. He was my number one. Plus, he was now getting some recognition. The people were not like Rita. I said, see, me tell you, I'm on the shit that look. He was waiting for his muse. His music was playing on the radio. We both thought we were made for each other. Everything said them a soulmate. Twin flame. Our plan was that he was going to sponsor me when he got to Delaware. Our would indicate that it was a collective plan, because how she gonna force him? All of this don't make no sense. When you're looking at a story, right? How is she gonna force him to sponsor her? Like literally, he could just go to America. Our plan was that he was going to sponsor me when he got to Delaware. Even after his mother's experience, we refused to believe this couldn't happen quickly and easily. We had no idea that things would turn out the way they did. But I think I got involved with Robbie. She'll tell we no. Some people are fight against people's first-hand experience. This is their experience. Did they put 20 on 10? Maybe. Did they embellish? Maybe. Did they leave out stuff? Maybe. But how many of us have had conversations and experiences in a relationship and both parties in the relationship remember it totally different? Let's go. But I think I got involved with Robbie. I knew because he was so clearly a strong young man. So him go from poor Bob to strong young man. A nice young man. Okay? It says here, he was very straightforward and strong-headed in terms of this is what I want to do, this is what I'm going to do. And very serious about his family and life. His spirit was there too. The strength of his spirit showed. I guess I have a strong spirit too, to identify one. As partners and soulmates, there was some chemistry that was natural and positive. No, she got in astrology now. Our astrological signs were right. Him being an Aquarian and me a Leo. Right. We faced each other on the zodiac. Rasta lady, way over there doing a zodiac. I want to go there, so. And I think our relationship came out of wanting, needing, and seeing the need in each other. The need was both of you were left by your parents. You shared similar things: abandonment, insecure attachment styles based on your mother, relationship with your father, being put in other positions where you had to attach and detach from people. There's a lot of other stuff I could go into, but she kind of touches on it a little bit, okay? My need is in you. I need someone like you to help me to make me what I am, what I want to be. And I think we did great. Okay? So we had to hear from her. All right? And she says, we were married at 11 in the morning on February 10th, 1966, a couple of days after his 21st birthday. So she's telling us when she get married, why she think they got married, why she thinks he married her, and why she thinks she married him. Okay, so we're gonna. Oh wait, no, we're not gonna left it because this part important. We're not gonna left it. We're not gonna left it. I don't know this thing. I run long. What do you think? I don't want to run too long. We might have to do a part 2 of why Bob married Rita. That's what I'm thinking. But let's end up here. We were. Oh, she said that already. 10 o'clock a morning. Get up early. It says, I went to my uncle Cleveland's where my cousin Yvonne got me really sharp. I mean, she ready, like how me look sharp today. Oh, does me look sharp today? She get sharp, okay? Then we met at the office of the Justice of the Peace. So this are not bedside marriage. This are not you do, I do, we do. Them go put it on paper, okay? Bob had on a black suit and fancy shoes that Coxon had bought for him. I wore a borrowed mother of pearl tiara and a ruffled white wedding dress cut just below the knee. What? Foot ashore with a short lace veil, both made by Auntie, of course. Remember, I told you how Auntie wasn't a seamstress. Where am I? Who, without my knowledge, had gone with Bob to buy the ring with his small savings. So the little shilling them, the little money way my collect, him go buy a ring. He put some thought into this, somewhat. He bought a ring. You bought the ring, but you got the clothes gifted to you, right? So you put some thought into this. It says, I was 19, going on 20, very happy, but almost unable to believe I was actually getting married. So in Rita's account, and we are going to have to read, but this is going to be part 2. In Rita's account, just to recap, me never had nothing to do with it. That's what I got. Rita's like, it was his idea. He came up with it all by himself. But you guys discussed it, right? You guys discussed that you would he would file for you and that you guys would need to be married. So it wasn't like a brand new idea like, hey girl, put on this, y'all got married. It was kind of like, according to you, it was sprung upon you and then things started moving. I don't know. I would need more. I need to flesh that out a little more. But for what we got, it was sufficient. And then we are going to oh no, wait. I keep saying that, but no, there's a little bit more. Sharon was not quite 1 year old. So pause, because be like for the months. I'm a researcher also, people. So check out the research video. I'm gonna put it right here for, and also I'm gonna take a little commercial break and come right back. I'm gonna drink some tea and then I'm gonna get a little last part there. Real quick, this is Amuna, author and storyteller, and I have a new release available on Amazon because I love writing and reading stories. This is a Caribbean American tale about love and culture. We have a young girl named Jackie, and she gets into it with a lot of frenemies and some other people that's trying to take away our rights. So go ahead and check out Island Twist, available on Amazon today. Now let's get back to the story. I have one more thing to tell her. Sharon was not quite a year. Remember when they meet, Sharon was 5 months old. So if Sharon is not quite a year, that means that she under the year. That means what and what make 12? If he met at 5, that means 7 months later. All of this happened in the span of 7 months. And I'm not quite 7 months because she's not quite one. That means that this thing moved fast, you know. Auntie had put her in a chair where she had been sleeping, but then woke up just in time to take the wedding picture. She stood up in the chair, very surprised at all the excitement, and just as the photographer was clicking the shutter, she pulled up her little dress and she peed. Sharon said, "Take this." In the photograph, her dress is lifted and she's standing with the pea coming down and looking at it. Oh, what me just do? The baby, I tell you no. We had a wonderful day. Auntie cooked curry goat and rice with green banana and made what we call three sister cake. Our pictures show how much in love we were. No, Bob was skinning him 32. Let us not make any mistake. Unless somebody come down and force you to grin out so and skin all of your 32 teeth them, it look to we. I'm not going to put a picture right there so that you were quite excited. That is in the picture. He was skinning him 32 and I looked at Rita. Okay? It says here, we looked as if we were thinking, how did this happen? But it's happening. We're husband and wife. But oh, we were so like twins. The Wailing Wailers had a concert at National Theatre that night and the bill with the Jackson Five. Sometime during the show, we heard on the mic, "Congratulations to Bob and Rita, who get married today." We were absolutely surprised. Bob said, "Oh, tell them." And the Wailers gave a first-class performance. That night, we were so happy, we went home and then make love the entire night. The entire night. This is important because this going to come back later. It was announced. That means that not only one somebody here. The entire persons who were there heard. So stay tuned for part 2 of this here conversation. If them force him, if them trick him, if them manipulate him into marrying Rita Anderson, no Marley.